We're back for another week. We just ended, what week did we end? We end week 8?
Week 8.
Week 8 is now in the books. We are probably going to do our mid-season stuff, awards and that kind of thing, recap, see where we were at in the predictions we
Cam
made.
Newton don't win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, well, yeah, we made some pretty stupid predictions. We're gonna take care of that probably next week after everybody has had a chance to play 8 games.
Yep.
So it'll be the true midpoint of the season. And probably at the end of the year, we'll have like a bloopers thing of just bloopers and stupid things that we've said made us look like morons. So let's go ahead and get into our games of the week.
Those.
Yeah, right. There were some surprises, some upsets. There were some comebacks that probably should have been upsets. So we picked our 3 games. We got the Cardinals and the Ravens, which was one that was looking like it was going to be a massive upset. Then we got the Rams and the Saints, which turned out to be a huge upset. The Saints just came off a 60-point game against the Colts, and the Rams really don't seem much better that often. But Rams put out a win.
Feely does it.
And then the last game we got is the Patriots and the Steelers. The Steelers have gotten back on track. They're starting to look like contenders again. But this game had a little bit of controversy in it, so that's why we did pick that one. So, go ahead and get us started on our first game.
Baltimore game.
Yep.
Got the Baltimore game first. Baltimore, Arizona Cardinals. It started out just like the Cardinals were playing football by themselves.
Yeah.
It was just pitch and catch, back and forth between quarterback and wide receiver, and they were up by 24 at one point in time. But things took a turn for the worse for the Cardinals.
I don't think they were up by 24.
By 24?
No, that was the Rams game.
You read me off the wrong statistics?
Yeah, that was the Rams game.
That blooper reel he was telling us about
That was my bad.
just got brought up.
The Ravens did, though. They did trail.
It was 21. It was 21.
Yeah, they did
21.
trail pretty much the entire game, except they started to get things going. Billy Cundiff started their role at right before halftime. He put in a field goal. Then the Ravens roll off 3 straight touchdowns.
Whoa. I want to get into this part, though. 3 touchdowns by Ray Rice. And you're like, oh, man, Ray Rice played a monstrous game. 63 yards.
Yeah, they were short touchdown runs, but
1, and 3.
But
They got the job done.
that's why you have your running
But
backs.
this is where I felt bad, though. 3 touchdowns for 63 yards. Joe Flacco threw 31 for 57 with 336 yards and no touchdowns.
Right, and another guy that really came up huge, that was really a huge part of them winning just with Flacco, was Anquan Bolden. He had 7 catches for 145 yards. No touchdowns.
Who are they playing?
I'm playing the Cardinals. Yeah, I understand that.
Anquan Bolden going against his former team. He wants to be like, hey, look, shouldn't have got rid of me.
Right, but still no touchdowns. Ray Rice just hogged all touchdowns. Anquan Bolden had 5 catches in the third quarter.
Yeah.
5. And Terrell Suggs went out and he got it done. He had 13 tackles, 4 for a loss, and he added a sack to that. I mean, the Ravens probably shouldn't have won, but that's what good teams do. They find ways to win. But then there's also times when good teams find ways to lose. And that's what happened in our next game.
And, to start off this game, I'm going to ask you one quick question. Saints, contenders or pretenders?
You look at the Saints, and they got the pieces to be contenders. They have a Super Bowl. They have the quarterback. They have the running backs, the receivers. They got the pieces.
Well, here's my thing. I'm going to call them pretenders for 2 things. Game against Tampa, Exhibit A. Exhibit B, this game right here.
The game against the Rams, the Saints lost 31-21. This is the game that Brett was talking about earlier. The Rams led this one by 24-0 at one point. The Saints had started to make a comeback, and everyone thought, oh, are they going to pull a Ravens? And
too little too late.
Too little too late, right. So Brett did mention earlier, A.J. Feely, the resurrection, was in this game. I can't wait to get my A.J. Feely jersey, because you know what? I believe in him like I believe in Alex Smith. Make it happen. But Bradford was out because Clay Matthews He rip his leg off. Pretty sure he ripped his leg off.
Ripped it off and fed it to
Ripped
him.
his leg off and ate it. And so Feely was in. I mean, Feely didn't put up amazing, let's sign this guy to 7-year contract numbers. But he did find Brandon Lloyd.
Yes.
And got his first touchdown as a Ram. That was pretty decent.
Well, but you know what wasn't decent? I'm going to go back to my pretenders mark on the Saints rushing game. 4 people rushed.
It's been up and down all season.
56 yards.
And they're coming off a 200-yard game against the Colts.
Exactly.
I mean, what's going on?
I don't know. Inconsistency, what's going on? Inconsistency. But you know what wasn't inconsistent, really? Drew Brees, 200...
He's never inconsistent.
200, well, against Tampa was inconsistent.
Well,
269 yards. He went 30 for 44. We looked this up during our production meeting. We have production meetings. He's leading the league in yards in the NFL. And I'm upset about this. He's not.
He's on pace.
He's on pace to beat Dan Marino's record.
Again.
Can he get it done?
I hope.
I don't.
That's like the only NFL record
my boy doesn't have a ring, okay? Dan Marino does not have a ring. He has this.
And Brett Favre took everything else from him.
Just let him have this.
Yeah, I don't know. But Steven Jackson is really probably the reason why
we'll get into that later.
The Rams won,
We'll get into that later. But I just want to talk about
a huge game.
One of my other favorite boys, Laurinaitis of the Rams. 10 tackles, 1 sack. I just thought I'd throw it out there. I mean, he is the son of a WWE Hall of Famer. So I love that. Wrestling fan. So just had to throw that one out there.
So, our last game of the week. I know you hate to talk about the Steelers, but
I do.
But they have been getting better and better every week. And
well, all the members of the team have gotten better except for Ike Taylor.
Well, right.
Touchdown Ike Taylor.
And James Harrison.
He's getting banged up.
They don't know if he's going to be playing soon. I mean,
they need him next week.
You either hate him or you love him, but you got to respect the way he plays.
I do. I mean, he's an animal.
It sucks that he's out because, I mean, as a football fan, you like to see those kind of players.
Hard hits, hard-nosed guys. Just wish he'd keep his mouth shut.
So, tell us what the score was here.
25-17.
25-17. Now, the crazy thing about this game was that Tom Brady was the second best quarterback in this game. How often do you say that?
Not often. Not very often at all. He's my quarterback on my fantasy team. I got home from work. I'm like, yeah, what's Tom Brady got? I checked and
he did all right.
He did all right.
But he had less than 200 yards.
Yes.
He had 2 touchdowns, but less than 200 yards.
When's the last time Tom Brady throws for under 200?
Right.
But you didn't throw for under 200?
Probably Big Ben.
Big Ben threw for 365 yards. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Here's the thing, though. Big Ben got sacked 5 times. He's leading the league.
But here's another thing. Big Ben dropped back over 50 times.
This is true. I was shocked.
I mean, the Steelers Big Ben won Super Bowls with the hard-nosed, grinded-out Steelers, and he's won Super Bowls as a passer. I mean, I don't really like Big Ben at all, but the fact that he can transition those games and he's taken the Steelers from one era to another, that's pretty impressive.
He's done some pretty impressive work. I mean, I don't like him. Yet again, James Harrison, you don't have to like the man.
You gotta respect the way he plays.
Because you know what? He has 2 Super Bowl rings.
He takes
How many Super Bowl rings do you got? No, I got combined.
0.
He's got 2 by himself.
Yep.
How many rings has Dan Marino got? I brought that up.
0.
How many has Big Ben got?
2. How many has Trent Dilfer got?
1.
Why? But I tell you who has no rings, no production, and is just a complete failure in all walks of life. That would be Mr. Chad Ocho Cinco. Now, I had thought that this was a solid move. Brett had thought that this was gonna be
I'll explain this one.
Randy Moss, the Patriots 2.0.
I thought this was going to be the whole... This is going to bring Chad Johnson to the Super Bowl. This is going to bring Chad Johnson to everything. This is going to put him in the top 10 rankings of wide receiver historydom. This was going to be it. This was going to be his holy grail.
He had told me Tom Brady was going to re-break his single-season touchdown
I legit
record.
thought he was.
Well, let's see what happened. Chad Ochocinco against the Steelers caught 0 passes. He has 9 catches for 136 yards.
in the game.
No. For the whole season. We're not in Cincinnati anymore. He puts those numbers up through a course of 8 games, not 1. I don't know what happened or why things aren't working, but...
Ocho Cinco has now converted to Ocho Stinko.
Yes.
You had Carson Palmer thrown to you last year, and you were still kind of doing that. You have Tom Brady, who's up here. Carson Palmer's good, but he's not Tom Brady. And if you can't do a Tom Brady,
who are you going to do it with?
No one.
Really.
You're done.
I mean...
Cut him and sign T.O.
Right, Chad Johnson did do terrible. That would be pretty cool. Chad Johnson did do terrible, but I mean... Both leading receivers for both teams was Heath Miller and Rob Gronkowski. Both tight ends.
Gronkowski with 94 yards, Heath Miller with 85 yards.
Right. I mean, so now let's go ahead and get into the controversy of the game.
All right. Troy Polamalu had 5 tackles in the game. And
he had 1 ball batted out of the end zone. Illegally.
Now, some of you fans are going to go, whoa, illegally. He was just playing the game. All right, I'm going to explain to you something. I remember this because this happened to the Giants this Super Bowl against the Patriots. Right. When there is a fumble, you must make an attempt to catch the ball. Not bat it up the field backwards or forwards. You must make an attempt. What Troy Polamalu did was he ran up.
He made an attempt.
To
slap the ball.
He saw that one of the offensive linemen from the Patriots and Tom Brady were going to get to the ball. So as a desperation move, he dove and punched Superman punched the ball all the way out of the end zone. That's illegal. That would have added about somewhere between 5 to 10 yards to New England. In New England, if I'm correct, I'm not saying I am, if I'm correct, would have got the ball back. And they would have been up more yards with still time on the clock. Is Tom Brady going to throw a 70-yard bomb to win the game?
Maybe.
Possibly. We don't know.
But
if Randy Moss was playing now, he would quit.
There's no chance in finding out because the ball rolled out of the back of the end zone.
And not even that, the referees have already come out and said, oh, we blew it.
Maybe it's just because we hate the Steelers. Maybe it's just a coincidence. But it seems to me like there's a lot of times where the Steelers win big games and the referees come out a week later and they're like, oh, yeah, we messed that up in the Steelers game. Wait, it's cool though.
Wait a minute. Is this another one of your conspiracy theories?
Yes. It is a conspiracy theory that the NFL referees want the Steelers to win every game.
He'll have a new one next week.
Every game. The Immaculate Deception. The Seattle Super Bowl. This thing. Our referees come out all the time and they're like, yeah, we messed up that Steelers call. Why is it always the Steelers?
I'm not going to say it's always the Steelers. This season, the referees have made some ugly decisions. Example, Ravens, who are the Steelers' rivals. So I'll use this one for example. First, the Jacksonville Jaguars. The referees overturned 4 different penalties. Come on.
I mean, and when the Falcons-Eagles game, the Falcons John Abraham came up, stopped, put his hands on what's-his-face's jersey, the loser quarterback.
Mike Vick.
No, it was the
Mike Money
yes.
Kafka. That one's for you, Pat.
Yes, from Northwestern.
Yep.
Yes.
Mike Kafka.
Put his hands on him and stopped. Didn't take him down nothing. Unnecessary roughness. Matt Ryan gets jacked, helmet to helmet, rolls across the field, no penalties. Their calls have been up and down, but the referees didn't come out after the game and they're like, oh yeah, we blew that call for the Falcons. No, they blew it. They say that they blew it for the Steelers because everybody loves the Steelers. Woo! Except for sane people. So,
but talk about sane people and insane.
Insane! Steven Jackson, our player of the week, was insane. He had 191 total yards.
159 on the ground, 32 in the air, 4 catches, 25 carries, 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns and was a big part of that 24-0 lead.
He got the Rams their first victory.
Yes, first win of the season. Thank God.
Greatest show on turf 2.0.
Now they are out of the
Feely does it. He's the new Kurt Warner. Because he was doing the same thing that Kurt Warner used to do, bagging groceries. Just know he had a job in the NFL.
Yeah. Yes. So we got a brand new segment to bring to you guys coming up later. We got our picks for this next week coming up here. So
And it's No Shave November, folks.
for Brett, I'm gonna start in December because that's when you're supposed to start.
I'm
with
trying.
playoff beards.
I'm trying to get a little mustache thing going. You can't see it from there, but he can see it, and he thinks it looks dirtbaggy.
So we'll see. Hopefully by the end of the year we'll have real beards. That you
He'll
can
have
see
a
on
beard.
camera.
I'll have what I have now.
Yeah, probably pretty much. So stick around for that. Our views were down last week. Kind of depressed me.
Wow.
So you
Get 'em
gotta
up.
get out there and spread the word. Get them
the
up.
word, not herpes, but the
No,
word.
Yes, the bird.
The bird is the word.
All right, we're gonna get out of here before we start to ramble.
Bird.